Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's basically all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. So anyway, the topic of money I just want to cover quickly was this one. So this is something that I only just recently learnt about, which was the Russian debt repudiation of February 1918. This was the biggest debt default in history, and I'd never heard of this. So basically, the banks had financed what they thought was the Russian Revolution. And when the Russian revolutionaries won, they just basically, in a nutshell, turned around and said, we're not paying. So the banks were thinking, oh, great, we're quids in here. We're financing a revolutionary war. Yeah, there's loads of money in war. They're going to have to pay us back. And the revolutionaries, led by Leon Trotsky, just turned around and said, we're not paying. Literally didn't pay a penny. And the debt... I mean, again, it's you have to work it out in terms of today's valuation, but I've heard somebody estimate that it was $1 trillion if you take into account inflation and via today's calculation. And it was just like, wow, like $1 trillion. But I mean, this is one of the issues with money. So there's been issues with money right the way through financial history, because the money is just simply printed off a printing press. So think about this. This is how ridiculous it is. You've got the central bank that is basically insolvent. They have no money because they just simply print their own money, and effectively it's the central bank saying, right, that money that we printed that cost us nothing to print. It's effectively like, certificates on gold, but nobody's using gold anymore. So, we're using these certificates. You need to pay us X amount of certificates back. So then, obviously, the revolutionaries who have just been in a war, they're absolutely knackered and were probably really pissed off with being told what to do. I know I would be if I was in their position. Having somebody say, by the way, I created this thing out of nothing. But it's you're gonna have to work your socks off to give it back. They're just like, no. How about you go and do one? Because the money that you've given us, those certificates that you printed hot off the printer's press, are absolutely worthless. But, the point is, those people who are asking for it back are trying to keep tabs on the financial system, because what they don't want is hyperinflation. They want to be able to trade with the world and buy goods and services, import and export. And if they have a currency that is literally, the rest of the world doesn't trust, because they don't trust their monetary policy, because they're just printing a hand over fist, you get, hyperinflation, and then you get another revolution. Because people are just like, there's mismanagement here, we can't afford anything. The money is all about checks and balances. It's a ledger. That's what this thing is. It's a note. It's like, right, here's a note. This is a record of something that you've done for me. So therefore, at a later date, I can claim the equivalent value back with something else, and that helps facilitate trade. But when you've got something that's centrally controlled, like with a central bank who they're basically sitting on their chairs, with their feet on the desk, pressing the old print button, and as Ben Bernanke said, we just simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account with the Fed. I mean, literally, it's like something out of a comedy sketch of Little Britain. Computer says no. Oh, computer says yeah. Computer says yeah, print all this money. That's all it is. So it's kind of like, if that's all you've got to do, I mean, that's kind of like where, I suppose the creation and the expense of energy comes in. It's just like, are you telling me that your job is to sit on your chair, press a button, and you just print this thing? How about we swap places? How about you have my job, you pull your socks up, you go down the coal mine, you start farming this land, and I'll sit where you are, printing this button, telling you I want that money back that I just printed. This is why you need commodity money. And this is what people like the Winklevoss twins and Dave Portnoy and just all these shitcoiners like literally just have no clue about. You need something that actually has fundamental value. And we know that Bitcoin has fundamental value because it's the first time ever that you can actually have immutable digital data. But the reason you can have immutable digital data is because of the creation of blockchain. And I don't just mean blockchain technology. The actual concept of blockchain is the growth of blockchain technology plus the increasing dilution of the centralized starting point, so that it has no central point of authority control that can just simply shut it down. So, again, all these shitcoins that are registered, on the CoinMarketCap, that have a centralized point of authority and control, like Coolcoin, BTC, that are controlled by that is controlled by Blockstream, it's fundamentally worthless.